Are you trying to improve your English but feel bored with grammar books? Do you want to learn real English, the kind people actually speak, in a way that's interesting and emotional? Then this video is just for you. Today, you'll learn English by walking through the inspiring and powerful life of Bruce Lee, the man who turned pain into strength and dreams into reality. Every sentence in this story uses simple English, so you can understand easily and enjoy learning. You'll see new vocabulary in action, learn how real English flows, and feel more confident with every chapter. But that's not all. This story will also teach you lessons about focus, discipline, and believing in yourself. Bruce Lee faced rejection, racism, and even near-death experiences. But he never gave up. As you listen, you'll not only grow in English, you'll also grow in motivation. So take a deep breath, relax your mind, and stay with me until the end. Because this isn't just an English lesson, this is a story that could change the way you think. And by the time it ends, you'll not only understand English better, you might understand yourself better too. Biography of Bruce Lee. Chapter 1, The Birth of a Dragon. Bruce Lee was born on November 27, 1940 in San Francisco, California, during a tour by his Chinese opera singer father. But even though he was born in America, Bruce was raised in Hong Kong. His real name was Lee Junfan. From the moment he was born, people around him felt something different. His parents believed he had a special destiny. They called him Little Dragon because he was born in the year of the dragon, under the hour of the dragon, a sign of great power in Chinese culture. As a baby, Bruce appeared in movies because his father was already in the film world. By the time Bruce was just a young boy, he had acted in over 20 films in Hong Kong. He had a bright smile and sharp eyes that caught attention. But life in Hong Kong wasn't always easy. The streets were tough. Gangs were everywhere. And Bruce, full of energy and curiosity, often got into fights. His parents worried. They wanted him to be safe. But Bruce was never the type to sit quietly or follow rules blindly. He was small but fast. He was clever and fearless. He didn't like being bullied or pushed down. So instead of running away, he decided to fight back, not with anger but with skill. That was the beginning of his journey into martial arts. Bruce Lee's childhood wasn't perfect. It was full of struggles, danger, and learning. But every step made him stronger. Every mistake taught him something. He didn't know it yet, but the little boy who loved to fight would one day change the world. Chapter 2, The Fight Within. As Bruce Lee grew older, his world became more dangerous. By the age of 13, he had been in so many street fights that his parents feared for his future. They wanted to save him before it was too late. That's when Bruce met a man who would change his life, Ip Man, a wise and humble Wing Chun Kung Fu master. Bruce started training under him, and this marked the beginning of his real transformation. At first, Bruce found it hard. He was impatient and wild. He wanted to win every fight. But Kung Fu was not just about winning, it was about discipline, focus, and peace. Slowly, Bruce began to understand this. Under Ip Man's quiet guidance, he started to find balance. The anger inside him began to calm down. He was still fast, still fierce. But now, he had control. Bruce practiced for hours every day. He trained his body and his mind. He wanted to be stronger, faster, better. He also started learning other fighting styles, trying to understand what worked best. He was not afraid to question tradition. Even as a teenager, Bruce believed martial arts should be about truth, not rules. But the streets of Hong Kong were still dangerous. After one serious fight, police told his parents that Bruce could end up in jail if he didn't stop. His parents made a hard choice. At just 18 years old, Bruce was sent back to America, alone, to find a new path. He carried a small suitcase, a little money, and a heart full of dreams. This was the end of his life in Hong Kong, and the beginning of something much greater. Chapter 3, Chasing the American Dream. When Bruce Lee arrived in America, he had just $100 in his pocket. He stayed with family friends in Seattle and worked as a waiter at a restaurant. He also finished high school and later attended the University of Washington. Life in America was not easy, but Bruce saw it as a chance to grow, not just as a fighter, but as a person. Bruce began teaching martial arts to earn money. At first, only a few students came, but those who trained with him saw something special. Bruce had incredible speed, strength, and focus. More than that, he taught with passion. He didn't just show how to punch or kick, he explained why it mattered. Soon, word spread, and more students began to arrive. Bruce believed that martial arts were for everyone, not just for Asians, not just for tradition. This made some people angry. Some Chinese martial arts leaders said he was breaking the rules by teaching outsiders. But Bruce didn't stop. He said, "If you love something, you must share it." This belief became the heart of his life. During this time, Bruce fell in love with one of his students, Linda Emery. They got married in 1964 and soon had a son, Brandon. Bruce now had a family to care for, but his dreams were still bigger. He opened martial arts schools and created his own fighting style, something new, fast, and free. He called it Jeet Kune Do, the way of the intercepting fist. America gave Bruce a new life, but it was only the beginning. His next dream was even bigger. Hollywood. Chapter 4: The Hollywood Struggle. Bruce Lee dreamed of becoming a Hollywood star. But in the 1960s, this dream was not easy for someone like him. At that time, there were very few Asian actors in American films. Most roles were small, silly, or full of stereotypes. Bruce wanted something more. He wanted to be the hero, not just a background fighter. His big break came when he got a role as Kato in the TV series The Green Hornet. Bruce's fast and powerful moves amazed everyone. But even though fans loved him, the show was canceled after just one season. Bruce hoped it would lead to bigger roles, but Hollywood still wasn't ready to give an Asian actor the spotlight. For years, Bruce faced rejection. He tried out for many movies and shows, but producers said, "America isn't ready for a Chinese lead." They even gave roles meant for Asians to white actors. Bruce was angry, but he didn't give up. Instead, he went back to teaching martial arts and trained famous stars like Steve McQueen, James Coburn, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Bruce believed that he needed to create his own path. He started writing his own movie ideas, stories where the Asian hero was strong, smart, and brave. But no one in America wanted them. So Bruce made a bold choice. He moved back to Hong Kong, hoping that in his home country, he could finally shine. Back in Asia, something amazing happened. People remembered him as Kato, but now they saw him as much more. Bruce was about to become a legend, not just in one country, but across the world. Chapter 5: Becoming a Global Icon. When Bruce Lee returned to Hong Kong, he was surprised to find out he was already famous there. People had watched The Green Hornet and loved his role as Kato. Producers in Hong Kong were excited to work with him. Finally, Bruce had a chance to be the main star in a movie, and to tell stories his own way. His first big film in Hong Kong was The Big Boss, 1971. It was a huge hit. Audiences had never seen anything like Bruce before. His speed, power, and intense acting lit up the screen. He was a new kind of hero, not just fighting with fists, but with purpose. The success of The Big Boss was followed by Fist of Fury, 1972, where Bruce played a student seeking justice for his master's death. The film touched people deeply and made Bruce even more popular. Then came Way of the Dragon, 1972, which Bruce wrote, directed, and starred in. This was the movie where he fought Chuck Norris in a legendary scene set in the Roman Colosseum. It was a moment that made film history. Bruce proved he was not just an actor, he was a creator, a visionary, and a martial artist like no other. Bruce Lee became a household name all over Asia. People lined up outside cinemas to watch his movies. Children copied his moves, and posters of him were everywhere. But Bruce wasn't satisfied. He wanted to return to Hollywood, not to be a sidekick, but to be a global hero. He began working on his most ambitious film yet, Enter the Dragon, a Hollywood-Hong Kong co-production. Bruce was finally breaking the wall between East and West. He was about to show the whole world the power of martial arts, culture, and belief in oneself. But just as his star was rising highest, fate took a sudden and heartbreaking turn. Chapter 6: A Shocking Goodbye. Bruce Lee was just 32 years old when he completed Enter the Dragon. This film was his dream, a Hollywood-level martial arts movie starring an Asian lead. He had worked hard on every detail. He trained the actors, helped direct scenes, and made sure the fights looked real and powerful. He believed this movie would open the doors for Asian actors all around the world. The film was set to release in August 1973, but before that day could come, something terrible happened. On July 20th, 1973, Bruce Lee suddenly died in Hong Kong. The news shocked the world. A strong young man like him, gone so soon, fans couldn't believe it. Many cried. Others refused to accept the truth. His death was called a mystery. Doctors said it was due to a reaction to pain medicine. But even today, people still wonder what really happened. Linda, Bruce's wife, was heartbroken. So were his two children, Brandon and Shannon. His friends and students around the world felt like they had lost a hero, a teacher, and a brother. Thousands of people came to his funeral. He was buried in Seattle, where he had once been a young, hopeful student with big dreams. Just a few weeks later, Enter the Dragon was released. It became a huge success. People filled theaters across the world. They cheered, cried, and stood in awe as they watched Bruce on screen, powerful, fast, and full of life. The movie made Bruce Lee a legend forever. Though his life ended early, his spirit didn't fade. His message of self-belief, discipline, and never giving up still lives on. Bruce Lee had become more than a film star. He became a symbol of strength and courage for generations to come. Chapter 7. The Legacy Lives On. Even after Bruce Lee's sudden death, his influence only grew stronger. Enter the Dragon became one of the highest-grossing martial arts films in history. People from every country began practicing kung fu. They were not just copying his moves, they were following his way of thinking. Bruce had said, "Be like water," meaning we must adapt, flow, and never be broken. That message touched hearts far beyond martial arts schools. His daughter Shannon Lee and wife Linda kept his memory alive through books, interviews, and a foundation. Shannon shared her father's teachings with the world, reminding people that Bruce Lee was not only a fighter, he was a philosopher, a teacher, and a loving father. His writings, including his book, Tao of Jeet Kune Do, were published after his death and became bestsellers. His personal notes showed how deeply he studied life, movement, and human strength. His son Brandon Lee followed in his footsteps and became an actor. Sadly, tragedy struck again when Brandon died in an accident while filming The Crow in 1993. The world mourned again, but it also reminded everyone of how special the Lee family was. 2 generations of talent gone too soon. Today, statues of Bruce Lee stand in Hong Kong, Los Angeles, and other cities. His face appears on murals, t-shirts, and magazine covers. Actors, athletes, and leaders still quote his words. New generations watch his movies, amazed by his speed and power. His Jeet Kune Do system is taught around the world. Bruce Lee showed the world what one person with passion, discipline, and vision could do. Though he lived only 32 years, his light continues to shine, not just on screen, but in the hearts of millions. His story will never be forgotten. If Bruce Lee taught us one thing, it's this: never stop learning and never stop growing. Just like he trained his body and mind every day, you too can train your English every day, starting now. If you enjoyed this story and learned something new, tell me in the comments. What inspired you the most? Your comment will help others, and it also helps me bring you more videos like this. And don't forget, learning English can be powerful when you learn through stories. So like, share, and subscribe if you want more stories that teach you English and life lessons. See you in the next inspiring journey on Glorious English.